Greetings. Welcome to Dr. English's Book Lovers Book Club. I'm Dr. English and I teach English. This week I'm revisiting the second in the series of the Hunger Games series, Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. It's been a while since I reviewed the Hunger Games, but I have to say, that is a book that has stayed with me and reminded me of what a good writer Suzanne Collins is and just how well she developed that whole concept of this Hunger Games and the tributes and this stepping in to replace Prim. And so I just absolutely love how she's really made us think about that, and it makes me just thought it was so interesting that she just came up with that idea. And there's just so many people know at Katniss, they know exactly who you're talking about. The second book, I think, is just like, I love the idea that it's like she really got, so much attention for the concept of the Hunger Games. And so the Catching Fire one is like, I don't know if she did it just to have another story, because it's like another Hunger Games, the Quarter Quell. And it's like, did she just really, people just really like the concept of the Hunger Games, so they did another one that was similar, and she had to make up a reason to have another one before then, and so, but I think the thing that she does a really good job with on this one is that we start to feel a little bit about like, what are the consequences of winning the game. We think about it in all positive light for whoever the winners are, but you get the first inkling of the fact that even though they won, there's still, something to be lost because they won. And you begin to think about, like, and this is the first book where you actually get to see something about Haymitch, because Haymitch won a Quarter Quell. And so I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. If it's Quell, it's Quell. Some people might say Kell, but I think it's Quell. He won that. They only have it so many years. And so, and then he's like, in the Quarter Quell, they're like fighting against other people who are also victors. And so it's just like, well, what is the point of, like, you get to win the Hunger Games and then you have to go do this Quarter Quell. And then it's like, so even if you won, you might end up dead anyway, because you have to do this with all these other victors from all these other years. It is just like, that's bizarre. And so it really gives you an idea of just how much control the Capitol wants to keep over people, even the victors. And so that part is really, really disturbing. But this is also the first time you get an inclination that there is a rebellion, that there are people in other districts who have been considering, some kind of revolt against the Capitol. And you can understand why, when you just like see the kind of wealth that all the people have, and other people are starving, or they just don't have anything in all the other districts. And so, it's kind of remarkable that it hasn't happened sooner. And that we know it happened in the past, and it was tamped down by the Capitol. But I don't think that, Katniss and Gale and Peeta actually, they don't have the memory of that, and, as far as what happened. And I don't think their parents talked about it. So it's because they try to keep that tamped down, through the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is like in response to the rebellion. And even, like they say, District 13 was completely destroyed. Well, you begin to start wondering if that's really true. There's all these rumors that there is people in District 13. And so that's our first inkling about District 13 and a rebellion in this one. And I feel like she does a really good job of, doing once again what she did well in the first book, and like helping us understand how they prepare people to be in it and to go to do battle. But you have a couple of brand new characters introduced here who are all victors, and they're watching these videos of these other victors to understand them, so before they go out into the next Hunger Games. And so that part of it is really fascinating to me. that you get, to get a chance, especially I think for me, it was really interesting to see how Hamish won. And just how brilliant he is, and that he was able to survive and be the victor over other victors. So, that means that he was really good in his own Hunger Games. And so that's why I'm really looking forward to this, the latest book that is really focused on Hamish. And I'm going to read a little bit. Uh, this is right before Katniss uh, goes into the tube to go into the Hunger Games. And you know that she's had this wonderful relationship with Cinna this whole time, as far as he's really made sure she looks beautiful and stunning and everything. And he prepares her to go out into the Hunger Games with whatever he, clothes her with. But this is also, a scene with Haymitch too. And I like what Haymitch has to say to both Peeta and Katniss here. Okay. For a while, we just stand there in silence, delaying the inevitable. Then Haymitch says it. I guess this is where we say our goodbyes as well. Any last words of advice? Peeta asks. Stay alive, Haymitch says gruffly. That's almost an old joke with us now. He gives us each a quick embrace, and I can tell it's all he can stand. Go to bed. You need your rest. I know I should say a whole bunch of things to Haymitch, but I can't think of anything he doesn't already know, really, and my throat is so tight I doubt anything would come out anyway. So once again I let Peeta speak for us both. You take care, Haymitch, she says. We cross the room, but in the doorway, Haymitch's voice stops us. Katniss, when you're in the arena, he begins. Then he pauses. He's scowling in a way that makes me sure I've already disappointed him. What? I ask defensively. You just remember who the enemy is, Hamish tells me. That's all. Now go on, get out of here. We walk down the hallway. Peeta wants to stop by his room to shower off the makeup and meet me in a few minutes, but I won't let him. I'm certain that if a door shuts between us, it will lock, and I'll have to spend the night without him. Besides, I have a shower in my room. I refuse to let go of his hand. Do we sleep? I don't know. We spend the night holding each other in some hallway, halfway land between dreams and waking, not talking. Both afraid to disturb the other in the hope that we'll be able to store up a few precious minutes of rest. Cinna and Portia arrive with the dawn, and I know Peeta will have to go. Tributes enter the arena alone. He gives me a light kiss. See you soon, he says. See you soon, I answer. Cinna, who will help dress me for the games, accompanies me to the roof. I'm about to mount the ladder to the hovercraft when I remember. I didn't say goodbye to Portia. I'll tell her, says Cinna. The electric current freezes me in place on the ladder until the doctor injects the tracker into my left forearm. Now they will always be able to locate me in the arena. The hovercraft takes off, and I look out the windows until they black out. Cinna keeps pressing me to eat, and when that fails, to drink. I manage to keep sipping water, thinking of the days of dehydration that almost killed me last year, thinking of how I will need my strength to keep Peeta alive. And then I have ... What do you think? I ask, holding the fabric out for Cinna to examine. He frowns as he rubs the thin stuff between his fingers. I don't know. It will offer little in the way of protection from cold or water. Sun? I ask, picturing a burning sun over a barren desert. Possibly, if it's been treated, he says. Oh, I almost forgot this. He takes my gold Mockingjay pin from his pocket and fixes it to the jumpsuit. My dress was fantastic last night, I say. Fantastic and reckless, but Cinna must know that. I thought you might like it, he says with a tight smile. We sit as we did last year, holding hands until the voice tells me to prepare for the launch. He walks me over to the circular metal plate and zips up the neck of my jumpsuit securely. Remember, girl on fire, he says. I'm still betting on you. He kisses my forehead and steps back as the glass cylinder slides down around me. So that's this excerpt from Catching Fire. And I've always really liked the relationship that Katniss had with Cinna. There's something about that relationship of a woman who is able to be close to the person who is dressed them and took care of them, because he really did try to take care of her and make sure she got a really good chance at surviving and doing her best with the weapons, but also just making her persona be what it was, because she wasn't really, she was such a, from a coal mining town and not accustomed to that kind of luxury and beauty. And she was a really beautiful person, inside and out. So, yes, I do think this series could be taught. I think you could just start with the Hunger Games and then definitely do this as a small group, and keep it on your shelves to share with your students. I'm still seeing, in middle school, I still see kids have checked out these books. So that's kind of nice to know that they remain really pretty steadily popular. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to next week because I'll be doing Mockingjay. Bye.